Yo, what up, though? What up, though? It's back. We're in person with Percy today on this lovely day. I do want to give one shout out to my boy Jesse. Happy birthday. Keep your head up. Happy 17th birthday. I wish many more, and I love you. But anyway, happy birthday to you. I have two lovely special guests, and hopefully a lot more on the phone and whatever. But we gonna get into this. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Y'all ready? Y'all gotta have some energy.
Yeah.
Y'all ready?
Let's go.
Like y'all gotta have some energy. Like I can't be the only one. All right. So now we got a little mix up today. We got Deca. We coming with the pressure. Hold up. Let me give you a refresher. Okay. So we got Chanel Wilson. I'm gonna let her introduce herself. Lori Norks, well known as Lori Norks, longtime friend for me, old church friend, cousin, whatever you want to call it, a longtime friend of mine.
Yeah. So my name is Chanel Wilson, as he stated. Currently I am a senior at Lornorix High School. Let's go Knights. I know that's right.
Go blue.
I am currently the president of the senior class, and yeah. As far as college, I'm definitely going to college next year. However, I am undecided as far as right now. But it's coming soon. It's coming soon.
It's
you know.
coming soon. It's coming soon. Just a little background. Just explain to the community, how did you get to the point that you are in your life? Because I know, like, you have some, like, you excel so much. Like, you're like so much. How did you get to this point?
Um, Definitely a big part of it is my parents, but I feel like also it's the experiences that I've went through. I feel like everything that we go through in life teaches us something, teaches us either a piece of wisdom or something that we can use to prosper in our life. So how I got to where I am right now, I would just say hard work, dedication, and never giving up. There's definitely been times where even in the classroom, I've been the only female, I've been the only person of color. So it's just keeping excelling and then using your goals, your aspirations, your purpose to motivate you to that next level in life.
How I know a lot of people hear from me, and I still like it's still in effect today. Like it's effect of the pandemic, of us being out of school for so long and us
Yeah.
jumping back so fast and that quick. Like you got to do this. Like it's
Yeah.
back to waking up every day. That was a struggle. It's back to doing whatever you got to do, to get to school. It's not on the Chromebook anymore. It's not like virtual because some people thought that was a forever. Like in KPS, I know I talked to a lot of KPS students last 18 months, and they said, oh, I thought this was a forever. And so I know a lot of people a lot of ninth graders that are 10th graders today, but were ninth graders last year, was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like I didn't have any orientation how we used to. I don't know what I'm doing. Is it this or that? Like what is high school all about? And Chanel shows that at Lori Norks. That's one thing I can say wherever Chanel goes that has to do with Lori Norks. It's like, oh, Lori Norks is a good school because not only because her, it's because of the community that Lori Norks brings. Lori Norks brings one. When we're in a now, I'm not saying there's never beef at Lori Norks for students, but when we go out and have field trips like this, I can say, okay, like I just told Chanel, I texted her at 3:56. 3:26. It was like, be here at 4, please. So it's just that, like, I can call somebody really fast and be like, can you come do this for me? Like, it's you always covering somebody butt. Basically that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
I'm so
I
excited
am
to
her.
have you on here.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, no
Mm.
problem. Just to maneuver just a little bit, Ariel, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Ariel Laws. I am the newest member of Kid Network. We have expanded to the Battle Creek Calhoun County areas, and I'm just really, really excited to be here, ready to, do the good work and put up the good fight.
I know that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yes.
So, what do you feel as like? Because I know us as youth, we don't get a say so. Like you working in the schools, and even me working in the schools as my EFE. Like I need like to see more books of color. More student recognition. Like you don't have like more student recognition like in the high schools they have student announcements, like student do the announcements, like in elementary school and middle school. That stuff needs to apply too, because that's just not middle school. Like that's just not high school. That's middle. That's everywhere you go, there's somebody announcing, and that's not just not announcing, but I see a lot of things that Norks that could be youth led, like that really could be youth led. Do you feel like you get enough say so in the
Um, well, I will say, like, I'll just go through a little bit of like my experience from, when I was younger and in school and stuff like that. The elementary that I went to, Fremont Elementary in Battle Creek, was, a really like family knit place. Most of the parents were really, really involved, and most of the, teachers knew everyone within the community because they lived around the corner. So I think those are important things. And so with that, they started like building the leadership roles within us at a young age at that point.
right,
So then we
right?
transferred over into middle school, and we knew how to voice our opinions and voice what we really wanted in our spaces at that point. And then so by the time high school came, and when I felt like I was unheard, I was protesting. Like
Right.
that was just we were hitting the hallways, we were hitting the streets, like,
And it's
and I was gonna protest.
and it's like nowadays you can't do that. Like nowadays it's considered unsafe. Like nowadays is if something does happen, like it cuts down on the principle. Like you have to get your kids under control, or not even that. It's just like why can't we have that? Why?
Right.
Hi, I'm Trinae Dunnigan, and I
And first of all, like just having a different um just having different paths, like Kalamazoo and Battle Creek are in the same city, yeah, but they're in two different places and two different backgrounds.
With a lot of similarities, though,
Right.
honestly. Very different places, but I think as far as like education goes and like the upbringing of the students, we're all pretty much the same, and we go through the same similar challenges. I know I worked at Battle Creek Central just not too long ago through CIS, and the students are saying the same things. They feel unheard, they feel uncelebrated, they feel like that they just don't quite have a space to be themselves within the school building currently. And so while I was there, part of my job was to create that safe space for them to be able to come and, speak with me about whatever they had, any qualms, anything that they had going on, be it like from home, at school, anything.
For sure.
I created, a safe space for them to be able to come and, speak and vent to me. And then I would be able to do my best to go and bring those ideas back to some of the administrators and adults who ran the building. And we try our best to, see what we can do. I will say that there was definitely some changes made for the better. And so like we were all appreciative of that, but there's still so much work to be done. So,
Yes, it is. Yes, and it's what I try to express to the kids that I work with every day is that you're enough. I know I read this book called I Am Enough, and it was just explaining and really explaining that you matter, Like, no matter what's your color, your skin, your disability, if you have a disability. Because I know I struggle with that a lot. Myself, people tell me, oh, Percy, you have a disability. How are you doing that? And I'm like, what? How does that even, how does that even apply to what we're talking about right
Right.
now? Like, they look at me crazy, like, oh, yeah, even when I'm at work, like, yeah, I do all this good stuff. They look at me like, you can't even do your job. Like, so it's just those simple things that, like, irritates me and do just a lot of different things that just, like, you know.
Yeah, it kind of speaks to intersectionality.
Yeah.
We're not just one thing. We are, made up of a bunch of different identities that kind of build up and create who we are today. So, like you said, the disabilities, race, and social status, sexuality, and gender identity, all of those things come together to make up who we are today. And it's not just one thing ever. So, yeah.
Just I'm thinking about that. Just coming back to my topics, Chanel, if you don't mind, I know we worked with a little bit last year with the transportation piece. Do you feel? Just explain how you feel about transportation.
As far as like the busing,
Just
or
transportation. Period. Like.
One thing, especially a problem occurring right now, is the post every day on the KPS Facebook talking about how many buses are canceled and how many little kids, teenagers, whatever, cannot come to school, because sometimes their parents work third shift and they don't have a ride. They don't have a ride to school, and that affecting their education. A large part of, being able to be in school and learning every day is being able, to get there in the first place. And I specifically think that something needs to be done about that, because there shouldn't be any reason that kids should be missing out on the opportunity, not because they don't want to be there, because they can't be there.
Right.
Specifically
right.
because of the transportation.
Right. And it's like a night before thing. So
Right.
some kids are like, what? My bus is canceled? Like, I won't know if my bus is canceled Friday. It would be a different thing if you guys had a weekly schedule. Like, this bus is canceled Monday, and these buses are canceled Tuesday. These buses are canceled Wednesday. Like, it's a everyday thing. It's a continuously thing. And it's like, what is going to happen with those youth who are missing school every day, like because of bus, who honestly can't get to school? I know somebody who walked all the way from the west side to Louis Norks, like, because they were on their 8th absence and they didn't have any money to catch the bus. They couldn't get a hold of somebody. I'm like, somebody goes to Norks over there. And it's not even the thing, like, I know on the south side of Kalamazoo, a lot of buses from in that area go to Norks. So I'm like, at this point, it should be a get in where you fit in. If you can, like catch a bus or walk to a bus, you should be able to get on. Now, I live at my dad's part time, and that bus sometimes are canceled. But I have a best friend that also goes to Norks, and her bus may not be canceled. Some days that bus driver won't let me on.
Okay.
Like, won't let me on.
Yeah.
Like,
Do we know if KPS owns their busing?
yeah, they do.
Okay. Do they outsource for hiring bus drivers?
See, that's the thing. It all starts with the hiring processes. They don't have enough people to drive the buses.
Yeah,
Okay.
they don't have enough people, and I don't think they do like how other school districts hire a company to hire their bus drivers.
And they shouldn't.
I think
Yeah.
KPS does it all themselves. And once again,
That's what's up.
it's finding the people. It's
Right.
not just finding them. It's who wants to deal with these kids or these young adults? Who wants to deal with this? Because just the other day, it was like 4 bus fights. And it was like, well, those bus drivers don't want to deal with that. Their job is to get you from point A to point B. And that's not and that's kind of hard to do if there's like a bus situation, like because like some buses go to one place, some buses go to one place, or they meet up. Like it would be one thing to fight outside of school, but another thing like fighting on the bus and in the school is that's actually gonna bring us into our next topic. Um, I do want to go into like Battle Creek Public Schools transportation, if you don't mind that piece.
Absolutely. It's pretty much the same thing, honestly. A lot of the busing is non-existent anymore due to, a shortage of bus drivers and things like that. And it came to a point to where I was going around and picking up like 6 students myself to
Wow.
make sure that they were all going to
Wow.
school and
Wow.
being able to make it.
Yeah,
But that's not sustainable,
yeah,
right?
that's
Not a
Right.
not
sustainable thing.
that's
Yeah.
not a everyday.
Especially
You can't,
these gas prices right
man.
now.
415.
Okay.
Okay, is you gonna give me a refund?
It's not a sustainable thing,
Where that
especially
stimulus
even
check
with
at?
the
For
okay.
real.
Okay, like for real. But yeah, no, it's just it wasn't a sustainable thing. And then, now that I have a new job, it's like, okay, what are they gonna do? You know what I mean?
Like
What
Yeah.
and
right.
so that's
For sure.
kind of definitely an issue that they've been trying to work out.
I mean,
But Battle Creek, one thing I will say, we don't own our buses and we outsource bus drivers, which I think KPS is on the right path with owning their buses at least, and then at least trying to hire within KPS.
yeah.
I would say that's the
Yeah.
first step, right? Because then the bus drivers, you can come with benefits and things like that for them.
And some bus
so-
drivers help working in the schools. Like you can actually do things. I know some bus drivers are just here for a check. Like they're just driving these kids. They're like, okay. Some of these bus drivers are here like, okay, I'm gonna go into the schools. Like sit in the school all day and work in the school.
And then drive y'all home.
Yeah, and then drive y'all home, drive y'all to school, help y'all in school, and then drive y'all home, and then some more. So it just goes all down to that, like just bringing the stress, like on parents, and I can't imagine what parents are going through. And if I'm being completely transparent with the elementary schools.
Unknown caller.
All right, I guess we have a caller. So, caller, you on the line?
Yes, I have a question for Chanel. What are your future plans?
Well, I think maybe everybody can go around. But my future plans are, I want to go to college, get my degree in business administration. Then I plan on becoming a wonderful, powerful, great business executive. Then after I do that, I want to go back to school, get my MBA, and a lot of companies nowadays are paying for that. So you know what I mean? Got to get in where you fit in. I know that's right. But yeah, so I want to be a corporate executive, right? But I know I'm female and I'm Black, so I'm going to face a lot of challenges and tribulations just because the way I look and that.
But we gonna get her through that. Oh, who is this caller, if I may ask?
This is Dre.
Say your full name.
Andre. My full name.
Promposo. Is that you?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. How do you feel about transportation, Andre?
How do I feel about transportation?
Yeah,
but-
like in schools, like the busing getting canceled and stuff like that. How do you feel?
I feel like people lazy. There's free money out here just to go drive a bus 2 times a day.
Uh-huh.
I feel like that's easy. You can do that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But do you think
because
go ahead.
I feel like middle schoolers, y'all canceling middle school buses. They can't drive, and it's hard for parents to come get them sometimes.
Yeah.
That's good. That's actually a great point. And I do want to point out, just knowing that tomorrow, your bus is almost like tomorrow's not promised. You can't go to school. That's exactly what it is. Like tomorrow is not promised that you will make it to school unless your bus isn't canceled.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's
That's
just
facts.
it's a lot of different things that different things that I go through that I hate to see. Like as me going to my iffy, like he's not here today because of his bus being canceled. It's like, well,
What do we think is the cause of the driving shortage? Do you guys have any ideas of what you think might be causing some of, I know the pandemic played a huge part, right? But then coming back from the pandemic, it's like, where is everyone? Do you guys have any?
I think that their pay salary needs to be raised.
Okay.
I think if you raise the pay of people driving buses, then there's going to be more people. But also, you have to advertise for the job correctly. It need to have more benefits included with driving the bus because you got to deal with them kids. And some of them aren't the best, the nicest sometimes. So I think raise the salary, and you also need to do great advertising for the benefits that do come with it in order to attract more people to the job that you're trying to relate to the community.
right.
Yeah, I agree with
I
that.
agree.
I feel like people like the way of life of a person is really important, right?
Right.
And we live in a capitalist society here in America, and so you
Right.
have to have money to have a decent way of life as far
Right.
as like being able to do the things that everyday people get to do. And so if you are going to work every day and you still come home and can't order a pizza,
Yeah, you still come home struggling to pay the water bill, struggling to
Right,
pay,
like-
Yeah.
especially with inflation occurring in the economy right now.
people
Yeah,
are tired
like-
of that. People
you
are
need
really
to
tired of
raise
that.
pay salaries along with the inflation that's occurring.
Do
That's how.
do you guys think like that will get more bus drivers? Like I think. Hold on, let me rephrase my question. Do you think bus drivers get the training to how to deal with kids?
No,
Do you think they should?
absolutely. They
Absolutely.
have to drive them. So
They have to drive them, right?
Yeah.
So if they don't give them training, they don't on how to deal with kids. Anybody can learn how to drive a bus. Anybody can pull it down, pull down the sheer gift and drive the bus. Anybody could do that.
Right.
But this is Goofy Podcast.
As far as as far as like having them
Yeah.
understanding
Yeah.
students and children and how to work with children, like they definitely need the training for that.
how to
So,
work with children. Andre,
Yeah.
are you still there?
Thank you for calling in.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, that's
Yeah, I'm
it.
just listening to what y'all got to say.
Perfect.
Appreciate y'all for
Thank you
answering
for
my
calling
question.
in.
I respect what y'all doing. Of course, I respect what y'all doing. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing.
I know that's right. Have a good day.
Thanks, Andre.
Thanks,
you,
Andre.
Andre.
Yep, y'all have a good day as well.
And we had our first caller.
First caller of the day.
Hey.
I'm trying to push it up to 2. I've gotten one every day.
Okay.
I'm trying to push it up to 2, but
Gotta
if
keep
we-
moving forward.
gotta
Yeah.
keep pushing.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
those
respect
kids do need those bus drivers need that training on how to deal with kids because it's like all different kids. And if I might have said this, but I can't express this enough. If I'm being completely transparent, the schools with the low level kids, it seems like those schools are being canceled the most.
Right. Right.
Edison, Washington, or not even Northeastern, Edison, Washington, and Lincoln, and not saying they're
They're lower. They're
They're-
they're just schools are made up of more marginalized communities.
Yeah.
It's not they're lower. It's just they're made up of more
yeah,
marginalized
they
communities.
like not to throw them under the bus, but it's like some of those kids need that place because it's bringing in a lot. Like I've had a kid tell me, "Well, when my bus get canceled, how am I gonna eat 2 times a day?"
Oh yeah.
Like just
That's a
thinking
different
about
no right there.
just
Oh, my
thinking
goodness.
about that. Like how am I gonna eat every day? And I almost came to tears. Like, and he was like, "My bus got canceled twice this week, so
Right.
that was 4 meals that I missed out this week because
they'll be
I
hungry.
can't eat at home."
Right.
And when people bus get canceled on Friday, I'm sorry, the food pack, like there's no food pack for them to save them for the weekend or the week. So if they're basically fucked if they get canceled on Friday. I'm just being completely transparent. The
Hey.
transportation system is like it's just and it's everywhere. Like it's everywhere. It's not just Kalamazoo. It's not just Michigan. It's everywhere.
And then we have to understand how being hungry shows in the classroom shows up, right?
Exactly.
Because we all
Let's talk
know
about
how it is to be hangry. We know what it feels
Right.
like to have those hunger pains and like not feel good because you haven't eaten. And so then having to sit in the classroom and try to learn under those conditions and circumstances, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It does not work.
And then I feel like some of the teachers, they don't take that into consideration sometimes.
Right.
They don't
Yeah.
pay enough attention to that sometimes. And they don't, there's still empathy out there, that we need to have with these people that haven't eaten, since the last time they were at school.
And that brings mental health in it, right? You need to eat. Like you have to eat.
you have to.
It's a part of, it's in order to keep yourself alive, you need to eat, period.
I know with
It's a
CIS
necessity.
at Battle Creek Central, food was a huge proponent in making sure that students were able to stay in class and things like that.
And nowadays,
So I kept
sorry.
all the snacks. I had snacks,
You
noodles,
was a
cup
snack
noodles.
guy.
Yeah, because we got to feed them. We got to feed
And
the
nowadays,
students.
Right,
food
right.
is the key. I know for me, food is the key. like if somebody like come into the classroom, if you do this, I'll give you some food afterwards. I'm there because like food is a key. Like not being selfish. Like especially for a kid that doesn't eat, who struggles with hunger, who struggles with all types of different stuff,
Yeah.
with mental health and just like all types of different stuff. Now, if we just bring our attention over to the policing, because when mental health happens, like policing, and that's like what I'm trying to say is with transportation, teens getting canceled. Schools are now bringing it up to young adults. Teens buses are getting canceled, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't have any else to do, they go outside, go to the streets. Then what happens? Like if their bus get canceled, they can't get to school on time.
They're not eating.
They're not eating.
Right.
They're at home in the streets every day, all day. Then it causes shootings. Then that's where all this stuff comes in at.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah,
what these three
sure.
topics add up quickly. They come together.
And
They
yeah,
come
they're
hand in
interconnected.
hand in many different ways,
Yeah.
in many different ways. Like, just it's unbearable how much you can put these three topics together. Because I
Yeah.
put these three topics together. I've been working on these topics for almost as long as I can remember. The first YLAG meeting we had, I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, those are my topics.
Right.
Those are my topics that we need to get addressed. I just really want them to be more addressed,
Yeah, I feel like some of these topics are swept under the rug sometimes.
Yes,
because
yes.
people don't want to address them, and it makes them feel uncomfortable. But sometimes that's needed in order for growth.
Yes.
Like,
Right.
like I'm not gonna say the teacher, but I told the teacher like I'm having a lot of mental health, and I'm gonna
Right.
say they because I don't want to say he or she. They were like, "Well, you didn't do this." I said that don't got nothing to do how I'm feeling. I'm feeling like this. I'm anxious. I can't get this done.
Right.
So we're gonna have to bring another solution.
Right.
Because, or it's just gonna be a zero. Or that. Like, So we gonna make something happen, like just not giving the accommodation that everybody needs. Everybody needs accommodation, especially in a time today like this.
And that's what it means to be equitable. It's, making sure that everyone is accounted for. Everyone has the resources that they need. It's not just, one section or one type of person or one person.
Yeah.
Like my brother, his bus was canceled today. He goes to Millwood. My dad lives next door to Millwood. My dad had to come all the way to my house. If you know where I live in the hills, like nowhere to be found. Like you cannot find my house. If I told you to go, you would not find it. All the way, 20 minutes away. Had to drive 20 minutes back at 6:30 in the morning. My dad goes to work at 4 in the morning every day. He had to leave work today, not even 2 hours later, to get us all to school. All because of bus cancellations. And that's bringing more stress on my mom. And it's just like, well, she already has to get me to the bus station every day at 6:15 because I don't get a bus. Like, I never got a bus because I don't live in the district. But it's like, what about those kids? Without Norks, I would not be right here. I'm just stating facts. Like, I could not survive at Central. Like, so Central was not the best for me. Not saying I don't like Central. I love their students. I like how they flow. And we are like one. But I would not survive at Central. I'd be kicked out of class every day. I'd probably be kicked out the bidding. I probably would have ended up at Norks anyway, to be real with you. So just having those like mind insights, like, wow, my bus might be canceled. Like, Chanel, do you have a bus? Like, technically?
Yes, I believe so. I drive now.
Vroom, vroom.
Yeah, but I used to ride the bus like back in middle school, and I remember my sister and I and her best friend would be over there running for the bus each morning. There'd be times where she would purposely leave us, and my mama would have to, drive us to school and be late to work.
Even that, just when your bus not getting canceled, what time is my bus actually coming? Like one day, the bus at my dad says, I think 6:42. It comes at 7:05 sometimes, and school starts at 7:33. And then on top of that, you have to go in, and they don't excuse the whole tardy pass. We're not even going to get into that. We're not going to get into that. The new, as Meg would call it, the bumper cars. Like the bumper cars outside, the new traffic.
Oh, yeah.
The new parking lot. You have to go. Have you ever been to Norks?
Well, yes. And so I know that you all just got like new tennis courts and like all of that good stuff.
Well, yeah, the parking is
so
like.
they changed the parking up
Yeah,
as
like
well?
you have to go all the way around to get to the front. But anyway, it's all of that. And most of the people there drive. And so just be mindful. So like being late to school is another thing. And if you get so many of those, you get detentions and they call your mom. Like today I got a robocall. I said, what's new? Like, because I was late to school because of my brother bus was canceled.
Yeah.
Like that took my mom way off schedule. Like my mom was like, well, I'm not gonna get up at 6:15 in the morning to take you downtown, and either my brother has to wait until my mom goes to work at 8 or my dad can come pick him up. That's what we usually do when this bus get canceled.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, he's late to school. Look at his bus number right there on a Facebook page, flattered under canceled. Like, making it seem like it's just...
So they just come up with, like, punishments on top of,
like
you're being punished for not having the bus
like,
at this point.
on top of that, now, if you getting tardies in school, that's a different thing. But first hour, like, you should not, like, those buses, like, the bus drivers are rude. The people are rude. Like, some buses have aides on them, and the aides are just rude. Like, sit down and don't talk. Like these are high schoolers and middle schoolers. You can talk like to elementary like that, but you will not get off on the 7th grader like that. You will not.
I mean, I feel like they shouldn't even talk to elementary schoolers like that just
No,
because they're
just
young.
everyone.
Don't,
Okay,
you
yeah,
know?
and that's I agree with that. I was just gonna say that just because you're a certain age doesn't mean that you don't deserve respect, right?
Period.
And I think we get
Yeah.
caught up so much in not wanting to listen to and hear what youth have to say.
Right.
But your voices matter. You all have your own ideas and your own thoughts on like the topics that we're speaking on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Usually a bunch of adults will get into a room and try to like brainstorm and think of what's going to be the best step and the best next thing
Yeah.
without ever talking to someone from
And it's negative.
a youth group.
It's always it's why y'all so mad. Y'all wanted this. Y'all asked for this. We didn't ask for this. We didn't even know y'all was having this.
Right.
Like, we didn't ask for this. So it's just like your voice needs to be more aware. Like, it has to be addressed more. It can't, there's no, the way society is getting, if your voice is not advertised or is not, what am I trying to say?
Listen to, put on the
Listen to,
forefront.
put
Like,
on
yeah,
the
yeah,
floor,
all of
put
that.
on the table. These schools are going to be messed up. Like,
Yeah.
that's why I want to be a teacher and plan to become like higher up into the school system, because I want these kids to have a voice. Even if you in kindergarten and say, it's hot in here. Simple as that. It's hot in here. I need some air.
It's funny.
Yeah.
We talked
Air
about that today.
condition.
Yep, we talked about
Air
that
condition,
today. We
like,
sure did.
or
That's
if
funny.
it's like, my bus driver was being rude, can we have a sit down? Go get the bus driver. Like, I know, or take the kid out early to go talk to that bus driver, because it's now it's either my way or the highway. Like, it's either the adult's way or the highway. And I hope adults are listening to this, because I want them to hear it's their way or the highway. Like, there's no other. Like, I know I used to get in trouble at Paramount. PG, 8th grade. Yeah. It was either their way or the highway. As I got older, they were like, okay, what can we do differently? Like, incentives, like, whatever. I'm a kid with ADHD. What don't you expect on the bus? I'm going to get up. I'm going to do my dance. I'm going to be funny. That's just me. Like, you're not going to. Chanel's know I'm one person. I'm Percy. When Percy come around, the crowd about to be
Uniquely
hyped up.
you.
Uniquely me.
Yeah.
Like, there's no
Yes.
other me. Like, and people accept me for that. Some people don't like. People be like, you talk too much, Percy. I be like, I don't care. Like, what do you want me to do? I have ADHD. Not that that's an excuse, but
I mean, but you're just going to be you at the end
yeah.
of the day.
And that right there, ADHD is not talked about at all. Like, a lot of these kids
Yeah.
have like real mental problems, like health problems, like that we need help with, that we can tackle.
I think
And it's not.
I was just gonna say, sorry to butt in, but I think like especially in like marginalized communities, it's not brought up enough that it's okay to have a counselor. You know, it's looked upon as being, you know, you're not mentally stable, you're not mentally strong. If
Well-
you know do seek therapy or something like that. So I feel like, especially in the Black community, that it needs to be amplified that it's okay to, you know, need a little help with your mental health. You know,
And that's how you get stronger. That's how you
Exactly.
get better, and that's how you
Right.
are able to
Right.
overcome, you know,
Right.
whatever
some
issues that you're having.
Some people hold their problems in their self. What Mr. Allen told me at Norix is you got to take care of two things: your mind and your heart. Two things. That's the two things you need
Preach,
to take
Mr.
care,
Allen.
care of. And those, and
Excuse me.
and ever since that trimester ended, the second trimester, I've been doing that, taking care of my mind and my heart,
Yeah.
meditating every day, self-meditating, affirmations, telling myself I'm enough,
Hello.
telling me,
Hello, I know
telling
that's
myself
positive
that
vibes,
I can
good
do this,
energy.
I can survive another day,
yeah.
and it's just those. Once you walk in, it's like put right back down, because once you walk in a building, people are rude, grumpy, like just
Yeah.
it's top of the morning. It's
Top.
6 in the morning, and
Top of the
you
morning to you.
and you already in a bad mood. You know what I mean? Like
But
you
remember,
see it. Like
we talked about all of those things that happen at home, right? So like if you didn't go eat last night and then you got to get up in the morning and you can't have breakfast yet, and then
Right.
now I'm in the school looking at all of these people and listening to these teachers. Yeah, I got an attitude.
yeah, like that little
I
that
got
little
attitude.
yogurt parfait is not this.
I'm hungry.
It's
right?
not.
Like,
Yeah.
We're high schoolers. What you gonna give us a little juice and a little parfait in a medium sized caramel frappe cup? You gonna give that to us? You really gonna give that yogurt? What's yogurt gonna do?
Yeah.
Like y'all need to take more time on how y'all treat us. Y'all know y'all.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You sure?
Yeah.
I just think as we're like talking, I just keep thinking of like the school to prison pipeline. I think it ties in everything that we're talking about. For example, let's say a student's bus gets canceled, right? They have 8 absences. They don't get credit for school. They're not able to be in school, and they eat by going to school. So what do? They go on the street and find a way to make money, because if they don't find that way to make money, they're going to be hungry. Their
Hello.
family's going to be hungry. Let's say they have little siblings. Their little siblings are going to be hungry. Okay, so they out on the streets making money, whatever they do, doing their thing. But let's say they get caught by the police, right? The school to prison pipeline, I feel like, ties in all of your topics that you're talking about.
Absolutely. 100%.
100%, especially with the disciplinary actions that are taken. Okay, I missed school because of my bus, so now I'm kicked out of school. So now I don't got nowhere else to go. You know what I mean?
Don't you all want me in school,
Want you
right? Like,
in
isn't that
school?
the whole purpose?
Isn't it?
And then
9
it's-
absences or no credit.
And then it's the cancellations are occurring in the marginalized communities, which already have all these stigmas and stuff against them. So it's like, okay, I can't be in school now. You gonna kick me out?
I'm canceling your bus. Make it to school by this time. Your way. Like
you
I said,
their way or the highway. That's what you said.
That's something that need to be changed, though.
like
you know, what
need
I
to
mean?
be changed. Like if not even if you can make it to school, if you have a bus, it's their responsibility to get you to school. Now I could see if it was 1 or 2 bus cancellations, but there's 5 or 6.
Every day.
5 or 6, and it seems like it's getting more and more every day.
Yeah.
So are they quitting? What's going on? I just want answers. That's all. Are they quitting every day? What is going on that we don't have all these bus drivers? Because like I said, there was a whole week that we had no bus cancellation.
And so there's no communication correspondence between like the administrators or the school board. Like no one's saying what's happening.
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be completely honest with you.
Let's get real.
I'm scared to ask.
What I think happens is I've been to school board meetings because I've been asked to be there to speak about stuff. You know, they're like, oh, we want youth to come. We want to hear what you have to say, right? But they're not listening.
Okay.
They want you to come there so they can say, well, we heard from these, this, and this, but we still decided on this because it's what they want instead of what youth are saying.
Yeah.
So what I was just even saying, we were saying, like you need to raise the salaries of the people that are driving these buses, period. So what I think it is they're communicating, what they want you to hear, but they're not
what
really
plan they
taking an
already have.
input of what the community needs. Because at the end of the day, what are these bus drivers doing? Serving the
Right,
community that
right.
in-house these,
Right.
students.
Like I said, I'm scared to ask because it's like she just said, well, I heard from them, but we still decided on this, or I'm not doing this because I don't have to. I make the rules. This is what I can do. This is in my pay grade. You don't. You can say what you think, but it's probably not gonna happen. And I'm all about change. I want to see schools change. I do.
How?
I do.
How do you think this can occur? That's my question for you, Percy.
Listen to youth. That's one big part of how schools can change is to listen to these youth.
And truly listen to
Listen
have an
to these
understanding.
youth.
Don't listen to
Yes.
come with a rebuttal.
Yes,
But
how
to
we
really
eat at
understand.
school, how we
Yeah.
eat. There's no reason that food should be that bad. There's no reason because you go to the cafeteria. Let's think about it. okay, you eat breakfast. You eating something you don't want to eat, right? You eating a yogurt parfait that's probably been sitting out all night. Let's be real, in the freezer. Like they throw it in the cup. They don't even mix it up for you. If I had a picture, I would show. They literally just yogurt, nut, the strawberries, and the parfait things, literally in a spoon, and have a nice day. And these little bitty juices that would slurp, you're done. I'll be like, dang, I didn't even open it.
I think also just hearing about what you're saying, I think, so I went to Africa this summer, right? And I went to Africa with the Inner City Youth for Change. That was definitely taught me a lot. And I'm just saying, like, even though they are providing food, there's people that don't eat, sometimes.
Right.
So we do got to be grateful and thoughtful about,
and think of our privileges.
what we do have. Because there was kids I would be with, and they would be outside playing all day. They would come up to me and say they haven't eaten anything for the past 2-3 days. You know what I mean? So I just want to make sure that we all are, taking a look and looking at the perspective of, we might not have nothing,
Right. And I always like, my mom went to Africa with my church, and she told me that, like, be grateful for what you got.
You do got,
like, you got this, and that's it. Like saying with the transportation, be grateful for what you got. But some kids can't be grateful because they don't got a bus. Like, they don't have, like, there's nothing to be grateful for if it's just like, oh, we can't guarantee you a ride to school every day. We can guarantee you a ride to school once a week, once a month, whatever. What about every day? That's not unless y'all going, I don't know, make a different option like carpool or 2 tiers. Like, they haven't talked about how we can make this better. Like, we can drop them off and go get another tier, like, or something they haven't even made, like, or one bus could meet up somewhere. Those kids could get off the bus and they could go back out and get them. And the last trip, everybody go to school. Whatever the case may be, wake up earlier, make earlier times. Hire staff that are designated to be at the school earlier, that for some kids that can get there earlier. Because I know one kid, his bus has been canceled many times. His bus got canceled 5 days in a row. 5 days.
That's the whole school week.
That's the school
week. And his mom said, I can get you to school at 5:45. School don't start till 7. Like, so now this kid is just standing outside at school, and then not even talk about, how am I going to get home? Think about that. How am I going to get home? Because now I'm at school, I'm learning, but how am I going to get home now?
And to have that on your brain the whole time while you at school is, that gives you anxiety.
Yeah, that gives you so much
stress.
anxiety.
Sure.
Like, with high schoolers, they're like, oh, I know that bus number goes by my house. They just hop on different buses. I mean, people do that every day, of course. But once they get the hang of that, they're going to stop that. And once they stop that, people's going to hate coming to school. I talk to people every day, and they're like today, I was ready to go at the very instant I walked in. Like, they were just rude, like, everything. Like, I walked back out the building. I had to reset myself. Like, because if I didn't reset myself, it was going to be
a bad day.
And for me, once this is a bad day, it's no coming back. Like, so, and I try not to go home. Like, I've tried, like, okay, I'm going to take my time through this day. I'm going to forget whatever happened, one thing at a time, Percy. One thing at a time.
Yeah, definitely.
One thing at a time. And some people come into school in second hour, and our second hour teachers are like, where you been? Oh, I just got here. Why? My bus canceled, or I didn't have a ride. Well, school starts at 7:33. You need to be here when the first bell rings.
We need that
Like,
empathy. Where is that?
Where is it?
Like,
Honestly, I
where
think
is
in
it?
schools we need more positivity. We need to learn more about self-love, self-confidence, self-care.
I think the world would be so
the world
much
definitely
be-
needs
But
some
that
more
means like staff
positivity.
and teachers have to love themselves enough to be
Right.
able to give
You're
the
so
love to the
right.
students, right? So at this point, I think like a lot of the staff and you know administrators and teachers and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I mean, teachers don't get paid a lot either, right?
They don't. They need to raise
So
their salaries.
but like teaching has never been one of those jobs where you do it for the pay. But the gap can only become so big before it's like, look, I can't do this anymore, right?
Right.
And I think that's where like a lot of the disconnect is coming. The
And
gap
then
has
next
grown
thing you
so
know,
huge.
oh, we have teacher cancellations. You can't come to school that day because your teacher's not there.
Well, literally,
Yeah.
That's
or you
gonna be the
have,
next thing.
Or you have like the coaches, or like what do you call them? People who might monitor hallways and things like that. We call
Security
them.
guards.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, we call them
Yeah.
Bearcat coaches because they did a lot more to monitor hallways. But you have them like we have to have them sometimes step into a classroom to sub, and it's like
Wow.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
because
Or
a law
substitute
just
teachers.
passed. I heard like anybody in the schools can substitute now. Like you have to have some
crazy.
type of degree, and the district will help you. That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
a
I don't
certain
know.
number of credits, or you know, an associate's degree. I think is what it
Yeah,
was. and then
yep.
You
Yeah.
can go ahead and come
Yeah,
sub.
because I know a janitor was subbing at Edison one time, and I was like, "Whoa, like that's deep." Like,
It's gotten this,
like it's gotten to
this
be
far?
real
Serious?
bad in pre-COVID. It's
Well, honestly, I think COVID just woke a lot of people up. And so a lot of
Yeah,
people
I do.
pre-COVID were working and struggling while we're all working. And then COVID came and it did a reset, right? So people were able to sit home for a little bit and think like,
Really reflect.
I don't have to do this. I can do this and still make, you know, more money and
Work
do
from
half the
home.
work. Or I can, you know, start a business now and
Mm-hmm.
focus myself on doing those type of things. Like they're
Oh.
shying away from some of these different, like, you know, teaching positions and stuff like that, just because it's not feeding their family. Or I have to come home and still stress about all of this, and I have a family, right?
Right.
And so, not saying that, not to excuse any of the negative and nasty behavior, because once again, you know what your job is, right? And if you're in that position, you have to be able to have empathy. And yes, you are human, but that's like the number one thing you have to have. You have to be able to put yourself in the shoes of other people, especially your students, knowing that most of your students are in marginalized communities, right?
Right. That's why we need to see more black males as teachers, more black females as teachers. So people are these marginalized communities, more Hispanic teachers, whatever. People can come in and see people that look like themselves, you know,
and
when
know
they're
that
learning.
they can do it. Know that they can do it. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of challenges. I know when I
Yeah.
go to college, it's gonna be a whole bunch of setbacks. Even a person, I don't want to say, like I said, I don't be trying to be throwing people under the bus. But one thing about me is I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it real. One lady at my internship, I'm not gonna say what she does. She tells me so she will look at my grades, like last year's grades. How you gonna get in college with this? Do you have something to explain for yourself? I'm like, okay, hold on. First thing first, why are you looking at my stuff? And like just those type of things,
Yeah.
like those
Instead of coming with solutions, they
Well,
come
Yeah.
with condemnation. And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, well,
AAC always cancel. Always cancel. Every other day is canceled. It's like, what is the point of having this stuff?
Yeah, I think I was just thinking about what I was in church and my pastor was talking about. I'm going to tell this story. It's not that long. So he was saying there was a guy that went to church and he saw the youth ministry lady out. He saw her out in the street, said, "What's up? What's going on?" Asked her where she was going. She said, "I just came from the Starbucks down the street." He said, "There ain't no Starbucks around here." She said, "Yes, there is." So he's thinking in his mind, "Oh, she lying. Oh, you over here, the youth director, and you lying." So the man goes the next day just to make himself feel better, prove himself right. that there is no Starbucks next to the theater because she said it's next to the theater. There's a Starbucks down the street. So he drives down, and guess what he sees? He sees a Starbucks. Now, why did he never see that Starbucks? Because he doesn't drink coffee. Sometimes we don't see stuff in life because we don't yearn for that experience. And that's why we need these people that reflect the makeup of schools, because they've experienced stuff that sometimes these other teachers can't relate to because they were never put in those shoes. They were never looking for that coffee. They never got to experience that. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Pastor, because that
Shout
was
out
a good
to Pastor,
one. That was a good one.
Pastor Bell,
Yes.
First United Baptist Church.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And I just feel like it relates to this definitely.
Yeah, it definitely does. Like, just not like I wouldn't know about stuff. Like, tell me if I'm wrong. I want to make sure I'm understanding you. You said stuff I don't do, I won't see. Like,
Yep.
so if people don't do this podcast, they don't know where we at right now. They not thinking about this podcast.
Right.
So how can we get people to think about the youth? Like, just bringing that. One, are they not thinking about us? Or is it just they're absolutely trying? Because if I'm being real, they're trying, but I don't think they're trying hard enough.
Yeah.
I don't think they're even I think they're doing 75%.
When you say there, who are you referring to?
Administrators of OSC, of everywhere, like at my job at Walmart, at anywhere you go, administrators don't try hard enough. And I see this all over the place. I see it all over the place. So that was a really deep conversation. I do want to be mindful of time. Like I tell all my guests, thank you guys. And this was part 2, definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thank
this was
you.
Really
Yeah.
good. Really,
Part
really
2,
good.
definitely. I just want to thank my viewers for watching. Again, the summer retreat was amazing. Alexis Whoop did a
Alexis
wonderful
Capos.
job. Shout out to her.
Shout out to her. Her
She
hard
did
work.
a wonderful job. Thank you
And
to
the KCYC cabinet.
KCYC members. Thank
Which I
y'all
won.
for making that happen. Thank you, Pretty Lake, once again for letting you use our space, use their space. Thank you to the Promise Bidding for letting us use your space. I want to thank Ariel and Chanel.
Do you want us to shout out our socials or no?
Hey, you can.
Go ahead, class friends.
My Instagram is CHA_NELW. Chanel_W.
Yes.
Add your girl. Because she coming with the pressure this summer.
He keeps saying that because I do the announcements and I do like little
Can you
raps on
give
there.
us a little
that's
rap? How about this? How about this?
Now she
This
put my
is
girl on the
not-
spot. Look, he done put my girl on the spot.
Give
I
us
thought we was running out of time.
right. I'm running. We got one more minute. Come on. And like I
A
told
rap I do on the announcement.
no, just come
That
up
would be
with
cool.
some.
I think I want to hear the ones like a random one you would do on
Yeah.
an announcement. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
You don't remember them? It's okay. It's okay.
You do one. He took all of mine. I do a Deca one.
All right, let's do it together. One.
Okay. Do you want to do the Deca one? You do want to do my my beginning announce? You want to do the Deca one?
I don't know the beginning.
Okay. We can do the Deca one.
All right.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
Go. Start it out.
Deca.
We're coming with the pressure. Let me remind you what it is in case you need a refresher.
Hey.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Phrases coming in. Yeah, that's hot.
Like even that to start our day off with that, like
Start
a little.
your day with positivity.
Like
that's
a-
hot.
I purposefully went. I like the announcements. They had tryouts. I didn't even try out. I just walked up in there like, I need to be on announcements. Like, y'all need me on here. Let me show you what I can do.
Yes.
So every day I purposely go on the announcements. Even the days I'm tired and I don't feel, the best, I go on there because I know that some people look forward to that. Like, I have people like message me, come up to me in the hallway, like,
Where was you at?
girl, or like just telling me like they look forward to that every
Like
day.
the day
and it's-
before spring
and that's
break.
their- yeah.
Where was you at?
Okay, I was on my way to Cancun.
Because
Okay, spring
announcement-
break.
I know.
announcements was a mess. Anyway,
Yeah.
but I do want to thank y'all for coming. And thank y'all for watching.
Thank you.
Once again, happy birthday, Jesse. Yeah. All right, Kalamazoo. I'll see y'all April 16th at 4:00.
Bye.
See
Peace
ya.
out.